Well, hello everybody and welcome to the transfer deadline day edition of the ITK Soccer Show. We are here just past the 6 o'clock mark, which was the official cutoff, although we're expecting that a few more things might fly through. Obviously, like most places will be covering it till midnight. I think that everything has to be announced by midnight.
It's everything up to 8, I think. And it's 6 to 8 is like the overtime they have, so you know, everything should be kind of wrapping up pretty soon.
Well, speaking of overtime,
there'll be nothing really. There can be nothing that really else hasn't been reported, I think.
Okay.
So.
Well, speaking of overtime, we'll get to the De Gea issue, because the reason that the extra day is happening for the Premier League is due to the bank holiday that took place in the UK yesterday. So every other place in Europe closed on Monday, as it usually does,
except for Portugal.
Portugal.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yep.
Okay.
Those little fellas get 3 more weeks.
Well, somebody who is in the Iberian Peninsula, speaking of Portugal, is John. He's not here. John doesn't like doing transfer deadline day show.
Has he done one yet? Has he even done a January one?
I guess he must have.
I remember we had Shamu last year.
We should move for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John just taking off like the most important time of the year. Like
it's because it's a 4-page long script compared to our usual scribbles on a napkin.
John is not around, everyone.
Yeah, John is not around. Okay, right. We're going to go over all the United ones first, and the De Gea thing. So from what I know, and you can maybe correct me after. So basically, what happened was the first bid came in, and all this information comes from a 10-point statement that Madrid released today, and there was a retort by United about 2 hours ago. So rather than going through them all, this is kind of the story if you were to read from both. Of course, nobody's taking responsibility from this, but what we've learned is that whether it was the fact that United didn't let them talk, or whether it was the fact that Madrid didn't ask, the bid only came in yesterday. Okay, now Madrid are saying it was United didn't open up to the agent till yesterday. They agreed a bid, I believe, of 39 million pounds, with the idea of Keylor Navas going the other way as well. When all paperwork went through, it was about 8 o'clock Spanish time. So it would have been 7 o'clock UK time, I think.
It was they were waiting for Navas to accept. Am I right?
No.
Nope.
Supposedly he did already. So Man United just basically did their De Gea stuff when the papers came through at 8. And then at 5 to 11 UK time, which is 5 to 12 Spanish time, which is just before the deadline, there was changes in the contract. Now, if you look at both statements, Madrid say that United made these changes and they weren't big deals, they were ready to push on. United say that these changes came in late and they were like, what the fuck is going on? And suffice to say, he's staying there. United's half of the statement was that they never wanted to sell him anyway, so it was Madrid's fault for not doing this quicker.
I'm going to say something controversial. I think both parties didn't want this to go through.
Well, I don't think they would have bid.
I think they wanted him, but I don't think they were willing to go chasing, because I said it a few weeks ago to you guys, why hadn't he just moved already? Like, you know, why were they waiting until the last day to make a bid? And they did buy Kiko Casilla from Espanyol. Yeah. Why buy him when you still have Navas as your number 2? And then start Navas and then go, oh, well, Navas, you're going to be the one going out now. It's like, it was a very messy situation. I don't think they wanted to pay for him as much as Man United wanted. I think De Gea wanted to go. I think Van Gaal taking him out was probably the right decision. But now, whatever the hell happened, you know, like, we'll never really know, but I'd say there's a lot of tall tales from both sides. And
well, Madrid are saying that they weren't allowed to talk to them until yesterday. United are saying that's not the case, that Madrid didn't decide to talk to them yesterday. So who's telling the truth on that point? Because that really does open it up.
But you can still bid.
Well,
you can still fax someone, I'm going to bid 50 million for you.
Okay, hold on.
There's nothing stopping you from bidding.
Let me see if I can find.
Surely you can send a fax and go, yeah.
I'll get the official verbiage from the Madrid statement.
But like, it's still a very weird one though. But the thing is now, you get that up there. Where does he go? What happens? Does he go back as number one because Romero's not a keeper. He made a few mistakes the other day. You rate him, I know, but I don't.
Oh, you'd been fine up to that point.
I don't think he's nowhere near the standard. Like Navas would have been a better keeper.
He's nowhere near the standard. He had 3 clean sheets.
He wasn't tested. He had like 2 shots on target.
That just means a good defense.
Yeah,
That's schematics.
so I'm kind of like, do you put him in or not? Like, if he seems a good pro, but I don't know if he wants to be there though. You know.
I am going to.
So that's the
I'm going
interesting
to. Well, they've kind of said that. Sorry, yeah. As I'm going through this, I'm seeing something that I saw earlier today. Van Gaal has basically said that De Gea will be playing against Liverpool, so he will be back.
So, yeah. You see, that's probably why Man United are blaming Madrid as well. So if Man United have the statement, oh yeah, no, yeah, we did everything on our end, and it's like De Gea comes back to training then or wherever he was, it's like, well, look, we sanctioned the move. Whatever happened, it fell through. Will you play for us for another 6 months?
Yeah.
And then if you want to talk in January, you can, which he won't.
Oh no, they're not going to let him go in January.
Summer.
Although if they let him go in January, it's their last chance to cash in. Technically,
They won't get much for him.
I know they won't.
They'd get 10 million max.
I know, but it's still 10 million. I don't know. Look, I can't find the exact wording. It was something like they didn't open up lines to the agent. Was the Madrid statement.
But Man United then retorted and it was very. I think both parties are kind of.
Here's the interesting thing. After Madrid releasing that statement and blaming it all on Man United, isn't it almost harder for them to try and patch things up with Navas than it is for United?
Yeah, like that's it. Like
that's
you've got 2 unhappy goalkeepers now.
Oh yeah.
Like the whole thing is a disaster.
Unless Navas just wasn't like super thrilled with the idea to begin with.
Well, Navas was given the number 1 jersey this year, which was another weird one for me.
Could that have been it? If that was part of the deal, could the actual last stumbling block and the reason Madrid kind of just didn't get it done on time was because Navas didn't want to go? And
No, I think he did.
You think so?
But he did agree to go.
Okay.
Like he would have been. You know, it's so confusing.
The reports that came out last night were hilarious when we all thought it was definitely going through.
Yeah, and then
Madrid had the unveiling planned for 1 p.m. today.
They had a suit for him. They had a suit.
I don't know if they'd bought the suit or he'd bought the suit.
There was a suit ready for him.
Yeah, this is for some reason big news.
It
Anyway,
just reminds me of the exact suit, the exact 2 same clubs, except going the different way. Cointreau going to Man United a few years ago.
it didn't.
2013.
Yeah, it didn't go down. It wasn't like this. So it wasn't.
It was.
Summer
It
saga.
went that long that everyone thought the papers went through. So you think it's more strict over in La Liga or something? I don't know for whatever reason. But same thing happened with Brian De Wiz as well. I think last year he was supposed to go to Levante from Fulham, and they didn't get it through, and La Liga rejected the appeal or something. So he was stuck with Fulham for a few more months. So I don't know. It's. I'd say more will come out, but it's a mess.
The first week of the show, we did the top 20 under 21 players in Europe. And this list kind of comes out as a really weird... I can't remember the name of the group who does it, but they do it every year.
Who scored?
It wasn't who scored.
No?
It wasn't. Although I'm sure that me and you've looked at that list as well. But it's a list that comes out, and unlike who scored, which would just be statistically the best, right? This list is kind of done by evaluations. And Anthony Martial, who is Martial, who is going to Man United now, was valued at, can you guess how much?
15.
Yes. And he's going for
More than twice.
£36 million plus add-ons. He could end up being basically close to €80 million. And
there's actually a thing in his contract. If he wins the Ballon d'Or, like another 10 million goes out.
There you go. Well, that's not going to happen. But he is the most expensive teenager ever bought. And the most amazing thing there's so many amazing things about this story. First off, like I had mentioned him to you, myself and Dan are doing a Master League. We're trying to get Leeds promoted in Pro, and he's the guy I'm always trying to sign. But never did I think he'd be involved in something like this. Two incredible moments, and I hope I'm not spoiling your spoofer of the week. First incredible moment was this morning, when Schneiderlin, who obviously knows him because they're countrymen, mentioned that Wayne Rooney asked him who he was. Wayne Rooney had no idea. Had you heard this?
Yep.
Wayne Rooney had no idea who he is, and he's not the only one. So to have 80 million, and I'm not saying Wayne Rooney is some kind of like football savant, but he has no idea who the man is. And secondly, this Royce thing. So supposedly,
is this true?
Yes. So supposedly yesterday, United, before this bid was leaked, it was actually mentioned on Match of the Day on Sunday, which has another story to it. But basically, when they were fishing around about him, they also contacted Dortmund about Royce, and they had in their head 50 million. Okay, and Dortmund said 60, and they said, nah, we'll just go with this guy instead. I believe it's 11 goals in 47 appearances for Monaco.
Right, yeah.
He's 19.
No French cap, yeah. He's called to the French cap.
Well, he's going to have his first on this international break.
But like, you think he'd have a rake of caps?
Oh, no. I'm just, like, that's, no.
Like, look how much Neymar went for.
Oh, I know.
I know there's a few...
Why would you not fork out for Royce? It's not like they don't have the money.
The only thing I think of, because they've actually no strikers, because as we'll go through, they've gotten rid of everyone.
Royce can play as a striker. I'm sure he'd be just as effective as this lad.
I know this guy's fast.
So is Aaron Lennon.
That's about it.
Look, it's just a phenomenally strange story.
Do you think Van Gaal has literally lost the plot? I think he has. I think he's just gone mad.
Okay, let's look
at
there is potential in January, right? If he's still there, which he probably will be, to look at this Van Gaal thing, and many things at that stage will be proven. Did he destroy Van Persie? We'll know by then, because he'll have shown his form.
I think he's already scored, isn't he, in Turkey?
Yeah, that's going to be a hard one. He'll have to score an abundance of goals in Turkey to be kind of like, okay, he could have done something in the league.
Surely he could have done sitting on the bench.
Falcao? We're going to have to see.
Could have got header.
Yep, so we're going to have to... But we won't know till... You'll agree with this. We won't see...
Yeah.
And then the big ones come in. How good Little P and Yannis do. How good Di Maria does. And how well... the likes of Schweinsteiger and Martial.
Apparently he had a pound fallout with Rojo today, and he was willing to sell him. It's like he's a nut job. I don't know if that's true. That's just the rumor that was going around.
But if you look at all this talent that has come through his hands in the last 18 months, and the amount of people who have not achieved what they could have achieved, and the amount of young people who are still improving, who he spent a lot of money on, and the amount of people who are proven who he's let go.
It's so weird though, because Di Maria, obviously he came with a massive reputation. He wasn't worth what he's bought for, but
who is? But still,
but you know what I mean. Thing with Di Maria was he actually came out there the other day and he said that Van Gaal just moved my position. He didn't make things easy for me. It was like he was more than happy to go by the end. And Chicharito said the exact same thing. And I think the penalty miss the other day was the icing on the cake. With Van Gaal's stare at Ryan Giggs for about 10 seconds. The death stare.
Yep.
Who else came out and said, like, most players have been coming out and saying, like, he's impossible to work with at times. And, you know, it's... I don't know, like, he started, Januzaj has played, I think, nearly every game this year.
And now he's gone.
And now he's gone. Like, what's that?
We'll get to that.
Why would he do that? Start him every game, and I go, oh wait a minute, I'm going to play you at a position in number 10. I know he can probably play there, but why would you play Mata number 7, Januzaj number 10?
We've talked about this.
No, but I'm just saying, why would you do that and then go, actually wait a minute, you want to go on loan there? Yeah, it's really, the logic of it is bizarre.
And one would presume now that it's going to be this guy up front, Rooney behind him, Depay and Mata on the flanks. And
I don't think this guy will start.
Rooney's, well, I think for this money he'll have to. Eventually, Dan, within a week or two, he'll have to start.
Is he going to start in the wing?
No, I think he'll start in front and Rooney will play in the
Rooney would drop off?
Well, Herrera, I don't know. Look, we can talk about... We'll talk about
maybe.
We'll talk about Man United.
That's only two strikers. You've got young Wilson on the bench, and that's it.
Who supposedly almost went today.
Or else they try Fellaini as a number 9. That's the only other option. Usually have him as a number 9.
Okay, let's talk about another rumour with United. When this came out of Match of the Day, I was just flabbergasted. And it went through. And the second thing they said, which is being unproven, right, is that when Man United launched this bid, and this might have something to do with why they didn't launch a Royce bid, maybe they thought this was going through, but 100 million for Bale supposedly as well on Sunday.
I think they have to get rid of all this buying Bale. I think there is a long-term plan to buy Bale, but like they're not going to get him. They would have just accepted, but like Bale will have at least 1 or 2 more years there to see if he's good enough.
Okay, let's get through this quickly. So, Januzaj has gone to Dortmund on loan. We've mentioned that. Chicharito has gone to Bayer Leverkusen for 8 million.
I think a lot of teams dropped the ball with him. I think he's actually a decent player. Like, can you imagine him at Everton up front, or like
Spurs,
Newcastle, or Spurs. Or, like, I think he'd be fine.
Liverpool.
Don't see why not.
No,
he'd run in behind.
Oh God,
he's decent.
I think he's very decent.
Yeah.
So that's
like he couldn't have been that bad if he got a loan move to Madrid last year. But it's not that standard. You know what I mean? Like he's obviously somewhat decent.
Sorry, what were you saying? We had drop off there. It's okay.
Yeah.
Chikorito's great.
Yeah, he's good.
Give me your pen, please. There it is. Never mind. Okay, let's do Liverpool. Obviously nobody coming in.
No, you got some young Brazilian lad.
We did, but he's not.
Who he is.
Stranger thing. He's Nigerian. He's not Brazilian.
No, you got a Brazilian as well.
Really?
Yeah.
We definitely got the Nigerian.
Fernando da Silva, just thinking Rodriguez, Pedro.
No way.
Something, you know, so.
Okay. Well, there we go. In terms of on the way out, though. Oh, actually, sorry. Johnny Evans has gone to West Brom. There's another Man United one. For $6 million. If you look at the graphic that John sent us today of the last Fergie team.
6 players, including Ryan Giggs.
Well, no, you can't include Ryan Giggs.
Well, 6 people sitting there are still on the thing, I think.
Well, forget about Ryan Giggs for a second. So
Rooney, Smalling, Jones, Carrick, De Gea. Well, he was actually marked off it, I think.
Yeah.
And is Paddy McNair on it?
I don't know. You've been there
Valencia
3 years ago. Valencia, there you go. Ashley Young.
Jeez.
That's it. Times they are changing. Okay, Liverpool, outs. So we had Fabio Borini finally going to Sunderland for $8 million. They bid 14 for him last year, so I still think this is a huge result.
I think it's a great sell.
Yeah. Lazer Markovic to Fenerbahce on loan. You think this is a loan move that might work? You think that he could come back?
Yeah, because he spent a lot of money on him. It works out for everyone. Like I know you and John rate him more than I do. I think he's awful, but
well,
I think he'll learn a bit over there, and if it doesn't work, you know, then you can just look whoever wants him, do a Barini on it. But
is he not going to a lesser team than the team he came from? That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, but he's going to a lesser league, but it's also he's learning. It's very difficult to learn in the Premier League because it's so demanding and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was under so much pressure for this price tag. Let him go over there, see what he can do. He's back to kind of Eastern European team, and
I think it was him playing out of position, to be honest. And when you look at Liverpool's faults at the moment, obviously the last game was the defence, but up till the game that we'll talk about against West Ham this weekend, you know, it was 3 clean sheets. And the issue was we were only kind of getting games 1-0 or anything like that. I'd like to see him try. I would have liked to see him at least tried, you know, because he's very fast. And if he was playing his actual position, you never know.
I think he needed to maybe get out of the spotlight. I don't think it's any harm.
Well,
a loan deal. And you've got a lot of players in there.
We do have a lot of players.
So are you going to play him or are you going to play Lallana?
Are you going to play him or are you going to play Ings or are you going to play...
Yeah, you've got... Yeah. I know that you've got Europa League, but I don't think you really care about that, you guys.
Clearly not, because many people have been going, including Thiago Ilori, who is on his 3rd loan spell now since being signed, and he has gone to Villa, where he'll actually probably play football.
Was one of the latest, and yeah, I don't know, is he any good?
Look, I don't.
All I know is he's left-footed.
I remember there was one game where he had a great game against Messi. I remember, but that was about it. Look, listen, it's an interesting one because obviously our defense was the issue last season, and besides the game just gone, as I mentioned, there's 3 clean sheets. But Liverpool have the same 4 centre backs now as they did last year. Now that Wisdom and Ilori have come back and gone. It's interesting. Yeah, so weird, I don't know if we mentioned Balotelli back to Milan last week. If that happened at that stage. We might have,
but if he's gone anyway. I think you're all Liverpool fans are very, very, very happy.
Absolutely, it's the iPhone 6 story about him feigning a hamstring injury, and when they came back,
so that's what I was saying. I've always said this. There could be things that we just don't know about, and that's why I was thinking we have to get rid of him. You know, so.
So the only deadwood that Liverpool weren't able to shift was Jose Enrique, who's moved to I believe it was West Brom as well. Fell through. So besides that, they've been able to shift all the way.
He came out. He said there was no offer on the table.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, maybe he just said no because he's been get off his contract.
Well, he does like it there, but I'm sure he'd like to also play football.
Does he even get reserve game?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Is he fit?
He hasn't been fit in a long time. You know, the interesting thing about the Balotelli thing that we need to mention is it's a loan deal with option to buy, but we're all pretty convinced what's happening there. Just to clarify, it's not. He hasn't been bought. It's a loan deal.
Well, you know, if he scores a few goals this year, I don't think you'd have him back regardless what happens.
That's the thing.
But Milan might go, look, if he does okay and they offer 6 million.
I think if they'd offered 6 million now, we would have taken it. So of course.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If say he scores 15 goals, which he does have the potential. He's not actually a bad player if he wants to be. Mm-hmm. He is actually effective, but he's effective 1 every 25 games. Well,
at this stage in his career, he is. Moving on to Chelsea, they had all these Stones bids rejected, so they went and they got 2 completely unproven players.
Let's just say this guy's name is Dave.
Dave. So Pappy, Gialolabodili, I don't know.
Dave.
He's from Nate's. They got him for 2.7 million, and then they spent. Yes, they got 2 defenders for like a third of the price they bid for Jones.
They also had 2 bids rejected today for Marquinhos.
Was there not another well-known centre back they went in for?
I don't think so. I think it was just John Stones.
The Marquinhos thing is interesting
But
because
he's a better player than John Stones.
Marquinhos.
Oh yeah,
He seems to be, but he's a distant third place behind David Luiz and David Silva, PSG. It reminds you of the Sacco thing. But the thing was, I think they had their eyes on Marquinhos when they let go of Sacco, so they were happy to have 3, and now they're going to keep with 3.
But like, I just, it's kind of weird, like this John Stones thing. They kept saying, "No, like fair play to everyone for all now," and I think it is actually the right thing for his career too.
Yeah.
But having said that, like they're after buying too. Like your man is from Reading. And he's not actually.
We didn't mention his name. It's Michael Hector. What about him?
He's not actually young. He's 24. Like to be buying a championship defender, you think, oh, he's 18. Like for example, like John Stones went from Barnsley 2 years ago for what, 3 million, 3.5 million, and you know, yeah, he's going to be good in a few years. Like who else? Mike Smalling.
Yeah.
Third captain. Mike Smalling came from. It was Fulham, but he was from like a non-league team for like 400 grand. Like they kind of make the jump and then they go to a team and that's it. Like there's players, but this guy he's not young.
West Brom have been very busy moving on. They got Joleon Lescott today for what was believed to be a £1 million fee.
No, he didn't. No, Villa got him.
Villa got him from West Brom. Sorry, excuse me. So does this mean Aston Villa are going to have Thiago Laurie and Joleon Lescott as their defensive partnership?
No, because there's Mika Richards as captain.
Of course, Mika Richards and Lescott back together. That young England hopeful.
Kieran Clark, which now hopefully he's better than Laurie, surely, but not looking good for an Irish centre half there. Like if you're struggling to get in the Aston Villa team.
Agreed. Yeah. Let's go back to Joleon Lescott. Is he not kind of? Could he not still do a job somewhere? Somewhere that's not West Brom.
With the job squad in Villa now, isn't it? I think he should be a decent signing because they've nobody who's ever played in the Premier League ever, and he might be able to help.
Yeah,
but he can't run anymore, and he's always a bit of an accident. But you know,
they also signed Machita Sarkic from Anderlecht. Do you know what his position is or what the crack is?
Don't know anything about him, so let's just move on.
Okay, I'm going to just go from the top of the list now, the ones we haven't done. Oh no, we should do West Ham because they went mental. They have
great signings.
Wonderful. So they've got Jelavic from Hull. Jelavic obviously had an amazing season 2 seasons ago, not so much last year, but you know, if they get him playing, they'd be happy.
Like he scored goals. Like he's good for 2-3 million. You know,
I agree. Alex Song, who's on loan last year, is now a full transfer. Or no, it's another loan. Weird. Yeah. Why do Barca just keep loaning him?
Because
Barca don't have a big squad.
For sure. Remember when they won the league the year? It was Tito's first year. They won the league, and Puyol went to give the trophy to Abidal.
Oh yeah,
and Song walked up thinking it was for him.
That's right.
And it's like
I don't think that's
you're the reserve defensive midfielder. You played him 7 times.
I don't think that's why they kept loaning him out.
No, it's just you know.
They also
West Ham.
I don't think you have it on the sheet. They also signed a guy called Antonia.
Mikel Antonio, yeah.
Oh, you have it here?
7 million.
Where's that? Oh, there it is. Excellent.
He's very good.
Where does he play?
He's a winger attacker. He made his name at Sheffield Wednesday. He played against Leeds and I was like, who is this guy? He's brilliant. Ripping defence, right? He went to Forest then for a big move, but Forest to just run terribly. And he's gone to West Ham now, and he is a player. He is a real player.
Yeah.
Now, I would be interested to see how he adapts in their style, but he's lightning quick. Like, he's one of those guys, I said Bakary Sacco is a very good championship player who could do it. I think he's in that bracket as well. He can step up as well.
The final West Ham signing of the day was Victor Moses on another loan. The most interesting thing about this is that Victor Moses signed a 3-year... 4-year Chelsea.
4-year deal. Would you understand that?
No.
Like, he's not going to get in there.
He hasn't got in there the last 2 seasons.
And I don't know. Just that's really bizarre, you know.
Well, they must have some sort of future plans.
Not unless they think if he keeps playing well, they can sell him off at one of the loans.
You know, the thing is, he's still younger than you remember.
He's at Liverpool, Stoke, and West Ham now.
Yeah. Did Stoke not get rid of a lot of people today? Or who am I thinking of?
No, John Walters was close to going.
Okay.
he wanted to leave to go to Leicester, but they didn't want him to go.
The biggest import into the Premier League besides the young Frenchman to Man United was Van Dijk from Celtic to Southampton for 11.5 million. So that's obviously to replace Alderweireld, who they never properly did.
Yeah, but he's good. He's a Dutch. He's a good ball player, but I think he'd have to learn a bit defensively. But no, he's decent. But he's not Alderweireld, though. He's much better.
Second most expensive was after obviously the main one, Mori from River Plate to Everton. They originally had accepted a bid for 5 million, but due to get the work permit through on time and visa and all that kind of stuff, it's gone up to 9.5 million pounds to Everton. So this guy better be good. I really don't.
I know he's a centre half. That's all I know.
Okay.
So, but he's not the replacement for Stones. He's the replacement for Dishtan or Alcaraz.
Yes, that was said pretty plainly by Roberto Martinez. Glenn Murray has gone from Crystal Palace to Bournemouth.
Arguably the signing of the day. What a buy.
Who is this man?
He is up front for Palace. He scored like
12
goals in the Premier League last year.
He was the guy who played up front last year.
Yeah.
And was he not playing this year so far?
No, they fancy Wickham or the lad. There's Sacco now. He can play up there. They've a lot of options up there now.
That is an amazing signing. I didn't recognize
him. Now he is about 31 or 32.
Sure. And
he did have a pretty bad injury, and he was at Brighton a couple of years ago. But he's back now down the South Coast, and him and they've got 3 strikers now. They've got Wilson, who's scored a couple of goals now. He's on 4 goals for the season. You've got Murray, who will score goals, and you've got Kermit Grant as well. He's the reserve. So Bournemouth, that was a good buy for him. Now I'd say big help to them staying up, definitely.
Is this the only non-Premier League transfer you have here? Is it because it's a big transfer or because it's Leeds?
I just sure think because Leeds had a great window actually. We didn't sell anyone bad or anyone good. Sorry, we saw a lot of people were shite.
Botaka, what do you know about him?
He's a winger. He's from the Democratic Republic of Congo, so Dr. Congo.
He's from Dr. Congo.
Dr. Congo.
My favourite.
And we bought him for like £1 million from Excelsior in the Dutch league, and he's not much about him, but I've looked up his stats, and he's pretty big. So he's a big, fast, strong winger. So let's see what he can do. And we needed a winger. I'm happy. That's fine with me.
Ghidorah, which sounds like a Godzilla character.
Ghidorah.
From Crystal Palace to Watford.
Yeah, Watford were very busy today. We didn't put on they bought like 8 players today, but I haven't heard of any of them. So
okay, that's grand.
Ghidorah, he's around the block. He's alright.
And as well as that, Ibarbo
played for Roma last year. So I didn't know the Colombian lad up front.
He'll
be
very
powerful and score goals, I'd say.
Okay.
He was on loan at Roma last year, and he's from Cagliari. So he was on loan to Roma, but Cagliari have loaned him, supposed to loan him back to use, but then Watford said we'll take him. And they sent him off. So
okay, and Aaron Lennon has completed a full signing from Everton after 1 year on loan, or 6 months on loan. That doesn't
look good for McGeady, does it?
One would think not. Where is McGeady at the moment?
McGeady was linked with Sunderland today, that's not really not good. So
he hasn't been playing for Everton.
He hasn't really been given a chance, to be fair. But they've got Morales, Lennon, Osman, Delafeo, Barkley, Kone. He's not really getting in there, is he? To be fair, he actually hasn't really been given a chance. I would always say that, but it doesn't look good for him because he's one of our best players for Ireland. So
that's true. We'll talk about Ireland more when we look at the international fixtures taking place over the next week. European news now. Juve, who have lost both of their opening games in Serie A. It must be noted that the game at the weekend was against Roma, who came second last year. So it's not kind of like the end for Juve. But we have talked about the multiple changes in the squad and how to reclaim any of the glory from last year is going to be nothing short of impossible. They did buy Hernandez, the Brazilian from Inter.
I like him.
He's a good midfield player. He
must be getting on though. He must be 30 odd though, is he?
I never had him at that, but I can check. So what's your midfield now? It's Pogba and Hernandez and
Khedira.
Marquisio
as well. There.
And Marquisio.
No, there's still no pace in there. There must have been the Beast. Is the Beast still there?
Oh yeah, of course he is.
I don't know. There's still.
By the Beast, of course, he's talking about Asamoah.
You're still lacking. Well, they're still lacking. I think a good winger in there. There's something. They're kind of like they were good. They could pass their way through teams.
They haven't used a winger in years.
There's just no pace in that team.
They didn't need it. They probably might now.
Now they'd need it because they're not Pirlo or Vidal.
Yeah, or Tevez or Llorente,
which is an amazing buy by Sevilla. I don't know how they pulled this off, but apparently it's a free transfer. He went the other day.
He really hadn't been playing much last year. It was mostly Morata and Tevez, and now with the inclusion
you tell me he couldn't have done a job for Man United.
Look, it's just hard to know, Dan. Like, all of this, let me finish. Like, all of this is, like, in theory. But, like, I can imagine Llorente going to Man United and having a Falcao year. Why not? Man United seems to be a black hole of the unknown.
I'll go to any decent team for, like, a couple of million. I think it's a great buy. Like, he's back in Spain, where, you know, he probably had his best spell. You know, I think he's a handful. Like, he's a different option to have. 6'5", big guy. You know?
Wolfsburg were busy replacing Kevin De Bruyne with Dante and Draxler. Obviously, Draxler was very lauded, linked to Arsenal several times this year, so Draxler staying in the same league but moving to a slightly better team. Dante is very interesting. Obviously, he had, like, amazing years at Bayern. He was the only recognised fit defender this weekend, and he wasn't played. Alaba and Alonso played as centre back. Yes,
I didn't see James.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. So really Pep had no interest in Dante.
I think, I know you're a big fan. I don't think he's great.
Look, he had a bad World Cup in the Brazil team that had a bad World Cup.
He's had about 3 bad years. Personally,
3 bad years. He won the treble 2 years ago.
He also should have been sent off and gave a penalty.
We still won the treble.
He did. But I don't think it was down all to him. But, you know, look, we'll move on. We'll be here all day doing that one. But
some of the parts.
Yeah, whatever.
Bayern loan Coleman to where? P/Y. What does that mean?
If you read it, it says Bayern have loaned Kingsley Coman.
Yeah.
From Juventus.
Oh, sorry.
For €7 million this year. And if they're going to buy him outright at the end of the year, they own another 21 million.
I didn't know that Kingsley Coman was playing for Bayern Munich.
So did you do today?
Oh, did you? Okay, sorry.
Well, you were in, yeah, I'm pretty sure you were there. Well, yeah, Kingsley Coman. That man no one had heard of until he came out of the Champions League final for some reason.
Yeah.
Wearing number 11. Yeah, he's gone to Bayern Munich on loan for the year. So,
interesting.
Whatever. Yeah.
All right, so Athletic Club have bought Raul Garcia for 10 million from Atletico Madrid.
Really good buy. He started his career there, I think.
Yeah.
I think.
It seems to me, and it might be just not remembering well, but have Atletico not really gotten rid of more than they've gotten in?
They got Felipe Luis back. They've got Oblak he's their starting keeper. Miranda did go out, but the Jimenez is Uruguayan defender. He's really good.
Yeah.
Him and Godin now are out Uruguayan. They go partnership there. Koke's come on. I know where they lost Tran, but they got Olivier Torres back from Porto.
Jackson Martinez
hasn't played yet.
Mandzukic. No, Martinez played this weekend.
Well, no, he's starting. Like, they're going Torres and Griezmann, who's incredible.
Did Martinez not score this weekend?
I think he did score, but he came on.
Okay, grand.
They went to Seville and won 3-0.
Yeah, which is very, very
But they've
rare.
lost. Before this game, they had lost once in like 18 months at home.
And finally,
so, they won't win the league, but they'll be better than they did last year.
Okay, and finally, Monaco loan Fabio Contrao from Madrid, from Real Madrid, and this makes sense on account of he's now third choice after their new signing Danilo.
No, he's right back.
Is he right? No, he's not.
He is.
So it's just Marcelo?
Arbeloa filling there.
Okay.
Or Nacho.
Are you sure Danilo's not?
Absolutely 100%.
Because he's been playing instead of Carvajal?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Because he's been starting all the games. Madrid had a 5-0 win. Okay, so we've got some more news. Dan, you can go through that while I'm just going to check if we missed any transfers.
Charlie Austin tweeted today about 4 o'clock that number 9 looking forward to season #QPR, which I just, God knows what they're offering him to stay, because I don't understand that one. I think he's a really good player. He could do it at most Premier League teams. So Sado Berahino has been in the news, I would say, for a long time.
This is incredible.
Apparently, West Brom have rejected 2 bids, the highest one being 22 million today. It was a typical Levy trick that apparently he was getting in on Berahino's, getting in his ear, going, oh yeah, the typical Levy, I'll do you last minute and I'll get you. And I don't think West Brom appreciated that they were kind of trying to turn his head.
Yeah.
Now, but
this was their 4th bid.
But I just understand that they bought Rondon, they've got Anichebe, they've got Lambert, Berahino's still there, they've got Rondon, or just I don't know, they've got like 4 or 5 strikers there.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Like I thought they had to replace them, and they'll sell them on deadline day. And now, because of what's going on, that they said they're disrespected, the owner says, yeah, you're not buying them, you're not having them. So he says, as long as, I think his name is Peace, he's the
Jeremy Peace.
he's a big businessman or something. In
He
UK.
said as long as he's in charge, I won't be playing for
I
the
won't
club.
be playing. Like, is like he said that before the deadline had closed, so I think he was trying to force their hand. But you have to respect your club. Like, you have to respect the fans as well. Like, you know, they did give him a break, and he has been in trouble a few times.
Yeah.
You know, so Mourinho is a classless individual.
John Walter is not allowed to leave Stoke.
Yeah, he wanted to go because he wants to go. He's been given he said a piss poor contract pretty much.
Okay.
And that's it.
Gotta respect your club though.
And yeah, but he didn't come out and said, "I'm not playing for you." He just wanted the deal he deserves because he's one of their longest serving players.
Adebayor tried to force his way out of the Spurs contract, saying that they should pay his 5 million release clause.
It's incredible. Like how he does. He's sitting there on over 100 grand a week, well over for about.
What do you think they should have then?
See, the problem was
They'd be spending more if they did.
yeah,
basically.
but you'd realize like the player can buy himself out of that as well.
Sure.
Like a lot of like in the lower leagues, like I remember Leeds released Steve Morrison to Millwall there last month, and by doing that, he had another year left in his contract, and he was actually one of our highest earners because Neil Warnock bought him, and it's like we can't get rid of you, and it's like, well, look, can we come to an agreement? We pay half your contract, you pay the other half, and you go to Millwall, we'll help you, and you know we'll help you go. It's like, yeah, it works out for everyone. West Ham wanted to loan him, but they've taken on a couple of loans today of Song and Moses, and that I think they might have one already, and Jenkinson is the other one. So they actually can't. Premier League won't allow it. So that means they had to get Adebayor to buy himself out of the contract, and instead of him buying out of it, he was looking for Spurs to pay up 5 million on top of everything that he's on,
So
and then he'd go and negotiate with West Ham.
So what's going to happen? Presumably
He's going to sit in the reserves.
Yeah. Okay.
He's going to sit in reserves, and it's like, I don't like him, but Jamie Redknapp goes like, "You're an absolute disgrace." Like
been about
we
3
already
years.
knew he was a disgrace, but like,
He's had his issues.
you're a footballer. Like he's more than happy, literally not happy, like not playing.
Well, maybe he thought that this would work. I don't know. Finally, last transfer news: Joey Barton to Burnley, which is amazing. And that a tweet from 2 years ago came back to haunt him about. At least I don't have to live in Burnley when they lost a game. Or whoever he was with lost to Burnley or something.
They also
like
bought Andrew Gray off Brentford for 9 million.
Okay.
So decent for them.
That was a lot, wasn't it?
Look, we don't have to do it till 31st of January.
Yeah, I'll keep refreshing here and see if there's any more news.
I don't think we've missed anything. But
I don't either. Going through the Premier League results from this past weekend, it opened up with Newcastle against Arsenal. Red card for Mitrovic, Newcastle forward, who has to have the most bookings per minute in the start of a
You'd
Premier League
imagine
season.
so.
So they were down to 10 men for, it was well over 75 minutes. And all Arsenal could scrape together was an own goal from Colaccini. So this, of course, spurred rumours on again of where is this striker coming from. Arsene said that there might be a striker coming in. Today they were heavily linked to Cavani. Arsene Wenger is supposedly going over to Paris. Heavily linked with Ibra. Obviously, it's going to be one of the two. And here we are, the end of deadline day. Arsenal still don't have a striker. Do you think it's a huge mistake for them not getting one?
Absolutely. Oh, it's just like they're the only team in the top 5 leagues to not buy an outfield player.
Wow. That's right. Wow.
You know, like,
wow.
just anyone. Like, Coquelin needs a hand in midfield.
Llorente.
Why not buy him? He's a free transfer. Just fucking get him.
Chicharito.
Like, you know, like last year they even bought Welbeck. It was a hand because Giroud had got injured.
Could that be it though, Dan?
You know, the Arsenal released a statement. They said that we bought 4 players last summer and we bought Gabriel in January.
Yeah.
That, you know, all we needed was check. It's like, but Giroud, like, he's a good player, but he actually has scored once, but like,
Yeah.
their top
Very
scorer
good
this year is own goal, and they haven't
it's-
scored at home in 2 games.
It's a bad sign, but maybe their thinking is, you know, things will come together. Welbeck will come back. We can deploy Walcott or Sanchez there if needs be.
Things always do work out in the end for Arsenal. They'll get 4th or whatever, but like, you know, this was a chance. They did have a chance this year. And I think everyone could kind of go like.
And you think getting a new striker might have upped everybody as well?
Yeah, but like I think you should, like, Walcott's not number 9. He's not. I think Giroud just needs help.
Yeah.
Like, he can do it, but if he's injured or he's off form or he's tired, I don't think they've really anyone to turn. And if Coquelin will get bookings because he's still inexperienced, he's the only holding player, he's the one who tackles. Arteta can't do it. Say if he's suspended against Man City or, you know, Chelsea or a big Champions League game like Bayern Munich.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no.
You know, they're fine everywhere else. They need another midfielder and they need a striker, and I don't understand it.
Another DM and a striker.
I just don't understand it.
I think they might be okay without the striker, but really, I would have said they should have got one.
So you needed, like, if he relies on Arteta and Flamini, like, you know.
No, DM is different.
I think he's relying on loyalty is a huge thing.
In front of their home fans at the Britannia Stadium, Stoke had an absolute nightmare. Within 30 minutes of the first half, they had 2 red cards, Adam and Affalay. They were down to 9 men against West Brom, and Rondon getting his first goal for the club and sealing the win.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Adam was an Egypt. I think Affalay was a little bit harsh because him and Gardner fouled him, and then he kind of like poked him, he provoked him, and Affalay kind of just pushed him away. Like, it was, and you obviously don't like I was at the Dublin match on Sunday, and Jesus Christ, like, it was just a disgrace, the two teams whacking each other in the
I heard it was pretty bad.
But like, you'd have like that, you just hope common sense can come in. It's like, that's your last one about you, is it's about a bit of handbags. You'd like common sense. Now, not unless I punch someone hard. That's a red card. You know, so kind of, and Stoke were still the better team with 9 men.
Interesting.
They had more possession than West Brom.
Incredible. Man City defeated Watford 2-0 at the Etihad as expected. Raheem Sterling getting off his Premier League tally in a blue jersey for the first time this season. Fernandinho getting his 2nd goal of the season, and Manchester City ended up finishing this weekend the only team out of all 4 match days to have a clean sheet.
Yeah, and maximum points.
And maximum points before Otamendi even debuts. No need for him. Not yet.
Well, they've bought De Bruyne for 60 as well. Like, there was links on Nasri leaving as well, but then I just like
they're granted. You put De Bruyne in there for Navas, and they're not going to do any worse.
I heard De Bruyne is looking to play number 10, so that makes Silva go back out wide. But I don't know.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Seriously.
Oh no, I agree, but obviously they feel they have a big Champions League campaign and they want to get far in the Champions League.
The way I've been reading all the analysis of it and the way that Pellegrini's talking, the idea I presumed was to bring De Bruyne in as competition for the wingers.
So Sterling, Silva and De Bruyne behind Aguero.
No, for the wingers.
Yeah, well, like that would be your 4.
Oh, sorry, excuse me. Yeah, no, yeah. But between the two sides, the competition being Navas, Sterling, Nasri, De Bruyne.
But like even like half time, they were kind of struggling to break Watford down, and they put Silva on the left, and Sterling went number 10, and he scored. Now I'm not saying because he went number 10, but like they've always got options. So
they
like,
do.
City are looking good, to be fair. You know.
Moving on to Anfield, Liverpool with their first defeat of the season, and a very, very bad one at that. West Ham defeating them 3-0. The first goal was a round robin ping pong caused by slight dispossession by Dejan Lovren. He was dispossessed then 10 minutes later.
Slight dispossession.
He was dispossessed then 10 minutes later, trying to do a step over when he had passed halfway line. It was ludicrous. Mark Noble then scored in 29 minutes after Lovren was dispossessed again at the edge of the Liverpool box. Philip Coutinho was sent off 53 minutes, so just a few minutes into the second half, and Liverpool played with one less man until Mark Noble was then also sent off in the 79th minute. Sacco got the 3rd goal on 90 with a
ridiculous.
People say it was stupid. I thought it was pretty impressive. Look, Liverpool have been fantastic in the back. They had very big problems here though. Lovren showed signs of last season's Lovren rather than this season's Lovren. A lot of them, and not only that, but Liverpool had almost nothing going forward this time.
You see, the thing was, you went a goal down for the first time.
Very quickly, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes.
So you went down a goal early, and I think we were like, oh shit, what do we do here? And Lovren then obviously was scared. Gomez should have done a lot better as well for one of the goals. He should have intercepted that. But like, you know, West Ham, they did a job, and he's like, just like they did on Arsenal. But you know, I thought the red card for Coutinho, I don't know if the first one was dissent or something, or not retreating. I thought the second one was a yellow, but harsh. But I don't think he can appeal that because it's 2 yellows. I think I'm correct in saying that. Nobles wasn't a red, I don't think. But you know, West Ham deserved to win. But you know, look, I wouldn't look in too much at too deep, but like you'd want to improve. Like, see, the whole thing is about your defence. You're saying there about Lovren. Arsenal did okay against you. They did well. They're putting them back, and you did well defending on your 18-yard line, constricting the space. But that was also good work from Lucas and Milner dropping.
Of course,
you were restricting the space. You were squeezing them pretty much, making them go side to side. Stoke really, that was a poor game. No one really was going to score in that except a Coutinho strike from 40 yards.
Sure.
And Bournemouth really were still kind of nervous and didn't really know how to get at you.
Yeah.
I will say this was kind of the first time someone actually tried to attack. But like, you know what I mean? Like,
hold on, Arsenal tried to.
Well, no, but you know what I mean. Like, you weren't really tested like Mignolet made a few good saves and stuff.
Oh, we were very much tested, but I think we were screwing the edge. For me, the way I look at it, Dan, is that the fact that Liverpool have only been able to muster up a maximum 1 goal per game is that if we do concede, and if we had conceded at the Emirates, that there's no guarantee of 3 points look severely unlikely if we concede. I think that there has to be something done in the shape of moving forward. We're obviously a lot better defending for the majority. I think the Lucas Can Milner thing is very solid. Henderson, when he comes back, he was incredible in the first 2 games for his work rate. But when you look at Liverpool up front, it is very, very lacking. And
I still think, though, you're not playing to Benteke's strength. That's what was the only thing that I kept saying when you bought him. You gotta play it in balls up to him.
Well, they are playing more up than they had been. But in order to play completely up to him, you'd be changing a lot. All we know is
he wouldn't be playing to Brendan Rodgers' strength.
No,
and he doesn't like having a massive, huge.
But Brendan Rodgers' strength right now, or over the last 2 seasons, is very, very little up front. So I'd be willing to change. But here's the thing: the 2 caveats moving to Liverpool's next game, which is going to be a big test against Manchester United, is that this could be just a wacky game. It'd be a game where Man United could look amazing. Coutinho's obviously suspended now. And is he going to try and accommodate Sturridge and Benteke?
It's Old Trafford, is it?
Yeah. Well, the most likely thing is that Benteke is going to get the first half and Sturridge will get the second, most likely.
I think you start Benteke.
Yes.
Because I don't know how many reserve matches Sturridge would have played by the time. He mightn't have played at all.
I'd say probably.
Because he's internationals, you know. So.
Yeah, probably 1.
So he might get 15 minutes. I go him and I would just leave, if Henderson's back, put him in, and then I'd even maybe try Ibe just for a counter attack or something on the right, and then leave Lallana on the left or something, and go by that, and then just hit them on the break. Because I don't think Man United are good enough to break a team down.
I think
you can hit them break, and then you can use Benteke's best qualities.
See, but when I look at this whole Coutinho thing and the hole it leaves, to be honest, I know you might think it's a bit conservative, and if anything, Liverpool need a bit more bite in attack, but I look at it as a very simple option. It's not like does Ibe come in. It's not does Lallana come back. It's simply stick with Lucas and Can, and Henderson comes back. I think the idea.
Where does Milner to the left?
Yeah, why not Milner and Firmine and Benteke, or Milner and Ibe and Benteke? I just think Lallana was very poor. But anyway, enough with that.
We'll see it. Like
a very good performance by West Ham.
Well done, West Ham. Yeah.
Absolutely, incredible stuff. Alan Pardew, the first person to beat Jose Mourinho 3 consecutive Premier League matches in a row, 2 at Stamford Bridge. So 2-1 at Stamford Bridge against Palace. Bakary Sacco and Joel Ward getting both goals in the second half. Ramadal Falco got a concession goal in between both. It's less likely that Mourinho is going to go, but this is pretty rough. It's a pretty rough start for the champions.
What I would do, first of all, I'd drop Ivanovic because he's lost his pace. I'd put Azpilicueta at right back,
which is his actual natural position.
This new lad they brought up, I don't know if he's any good or not, but put him left back.
See, this might be the issue.
And I'd probably go Terry and Zuma.
Sure.
I think that'd be a bit more solid. But Cesc, I'd drop.
Yeah.
He's not at the races, just to get the finger out. I'd throw in.
How did Pedro do in this?
Did he assist?
Uh-huh.
Like Pedro will always try for you. I just don't think Cesc he doesn't look interested at the moment. I don't know what's going on there.
You think
Hazard doesn't look interested. Costa is still a nutter up front.
Costa's had a bad game. A few games.
He did okay against West Brom, but they have a lot of problems there. They're getting a lot of very bad indiscipline, a lot of bad mistakes. Like, you know the way, like, when Chelsea were last year, they were always relying on their defence. Remember the last, like, from pretty much maybe February, March, when he decided to kind of just close the games up and goes, right, let's just win 1-0.
Sure.
And they weren't playing well, but they were defending really well. Sort of like, they got their goal and they hung on. This year, they're not defending well, so they go, oh God, we're conceding. If you look at last year, they always somehow kept a clean sheet. But they haven't kept one. They've conceded 2s and 3s in most games.
They've conceded some,
and they haven't had a hard start.
They've conceded.
If you took City out, you'd be expecting them really nearly to pick up near maximum points.
They've conceded 9, and this seems to be a trait though of the league. There's been something like 8 games where the home team has won in 4 weekends. This counter-attacking thing is doing everybody a jobby.
Yeah, but also it shows there's no teams in the Premier League really have enough control in midfield.
Yes.
To just keep the ball, keep it simple, keep doing the right things.
Well,
You know,
that's
there's
where
no.
Dejan Lovren certainly let Liverpool
Well,
doing
yeah, but
simple
look,
things.
you know what? But I'm just talking
Step
simple
over now.
midfield, simple passes. That's all it is. Someone just to control it, and that's it. It's not doing.
James Vardy penalty on 86 minutes saved Leicester's blushes, securing a point away at Bournemouth. I didn't see anything about this, so what can you tell me?
Bournemouth are the better team, but Leicester did well, come back in, got a penalty, and they shot another penalty a minute after.
Okay. Aston Villa had a Scott Sinclair brace to end 2-2 at home against Sunderland. This is a good result for Sunderland, all things considered. So far.
Great free kick by Mvia.
Yeah.
Like I said when they bought him, he could be the difference if he plays well.
Sure, he came in with a bit of a reputation.
Amazing free kick, but yeah, he's he'll get sent off more times than he does a correct pass probably. But like, yeah, but Sunderland were lucky. Villa really hockeyed them. Mm-hmm. So, but you know, two bad teams really.
Spurs hockeyed Everton but couldn't get a goal.
That was an awful match. God,
it was really mostly Spurs. What's the thing is this? People are trying to make a lot of a big deal out of Lukaku not getting past 70 minutes and stuff, and putting on Naismith. This is just tactical. Like, come on, you're playing away from home. You know, you take Lukaku off.
Who did he bring on? He brought on
Naismith.
Was it Naismith?
Yes.
Delafeu. Like, maybe he thought they'd run in behind more.
Yeah, I don't see the big deal.
I wouldn't.
Anyway, what do you think the issue was with Spurs here not being able to put something away? Is it what they have up front? Really?
When you look at their two midfielders, they had Eric Dyer, who's playing right back last year. They had Joe Mason, who's okay, and Bentaleb is a sitting midfielder.
Yeah.
And they've got an unfit Harry Kane up front.
Some of the best runs were coming from Vertonghen.
With Chadley and who's the other lad? I don't know. Lamella.
Bentaleb. Ericsson.
He's injured or something. But like they're not good enough, Spurs.
They're having a bad year so far.
Well, like even their team, like, you know, they've one or two. They're better at the back. And I feel sorry for Pochettino because he's actually a good manager, but if the owner isn't going to help him, Spurs are like, they'll finish 8th.
Yeah.
And he'll be happy. Like, you know, you might get 1 or 2 scalps, but they need if they back their manager, they've got a good manager there. That's all I'll say.
Southampton, I can't really say it's a return to form because it is like a newly promoted team coming to St Mary's, but they did shellac Norwich 3-0, goals from Pele and 2 from Tadic.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I heard Norwich were awful.
So. They were absolutely terrible.
Really?
Absolutely terrible.
Well, they actually played pretty well all year until this. So.
Yeah. Well, 4th game. And then miraculous comeback within 5 minutes from Manchester United and Swansea City. Juan Mata getting Man United off the break just moments into the second half before the dream team really so far this year of Andre Ayew and Bafemi Gomez. That was an easy one.
Yep.
Securing 2. Listen, Ayew's goal, the header. It was who got the assist?
Sigurdsson.
Sigurdsson. Yeah. It's what it was. It was a good counter attack. It's what we're seeing now in almost every game. But the assist to Gomez from Ayew, that ball that literally looked like it decided to go around a corner.
He is a player.
He's something free from Marseille.
Was it free?
It was a free.
I heard at the end of the Chelsea match when Gary Monk did an interview, he says there was top teams wanting him, and they were like, "No, come to Swansea. You're going to believe in good football. We're building. We're an exciting project. Come to us." And he goes, "Yeah, I want to play football. If I get my game, I want to learn and I want to play." Like, he seems like he really wants to try as well.
I know Swansea have the reputation from the Brendan Rodgers era and before then of like playing expansive football and passing to feet football and good football for a mid-level club and stuff like that, but and that suits this guy. But you'd have to imagine that he could walk into almost any team in the league with this form.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. But like, Swansea are doing great. Like Jack Cork and John Joe Shelby in the middle of the field, they've been excellent. Absolutely excellent. If Shelby
really kind of gets a grip, like, this guy could be easily the best English midfielder over the next 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's if he'd do something stupid next week or something, you know.
He's been pretty well behaved recently.
It's just even on the pitch, like, he does bizarre things.
Oh, I know.
Like, remember the 2-2 with Liverpool like 2 years ago? He was responsible for all 4 goals.
Yeah, I know.
He scored 1, assisted 1, and made 2 mistakes for it. But no, yeah, I'm delighted to see Swansea do well. Delighted.
Very much so.
By the Man United were awful, from what I saw.
Yeah. My friend Kenny texted me and he said, I didn't know until 42 minutes when the commentator mentioned his name that Schweinsteiger was on the pitch.
He's way off the pace, isn't he?
Yeah. Top 10 really quick. City on top with 12. Palace on 9. Leicester on 8. Great so far for Leicester. It might have been unlucky not to get full 3 points this weekend, and that would have put them handily in second. Swansea on 8 as well. So Leicester and Swansea kind of keeping their form up from last year, which is really nice to see. Manchester United on 5th with 7 points, joint with Arsenal and Liverpool. West Ham on 8th with 6 points. Everton 9th with 5, and Southampton also on 5, but sitting in 10th place with goal difference. So the big thing really is just looking at Chelsea in 13th, I suppose.
It's great.
It's very, very interesting. Okay, moving on. Look, we have to get through these pretty quickly. The European draws from this year, Champions League and the Europa League. For the Europa League, I won't do them all, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you out the groups, and you're going to tell me first and second.
Okay.
In your prediction. Group A, Atletico Madrid, Juventus, Olympiacos, and Malmo.
Atletico and Juve.
In that order?
Yeah.
Atletico first, Juve second?
Yeah.
I think you actually could be right. Real Madrid, FC Basel.
Wait a minute, this isn't the groups.
What the fuck is this, Dan? Why are Liverpool in the Champions League?
Well, this is last year's I printed off. That's great, isn't it? Oh my god.
Okay, look, let's do Europa first. I have it here.
I did type it in, and that's the first thing that came up. I'm like, that group happened last year.
Okay.
Atletico Madrid and Juventus are into the same thing.
All right.
Sorry about that.
It's grand. I'm going to go through groups here in the Europa League that have interest for this side of the water or bigger teams. Group A, Ajax, Celtic, Fenerbahce, Molde.
Ajax.
And Fenerbahce. Well done. Rubin Kazan, Liverpool, Bordeaux, and Sion.
Rubin and Liverpool.
Okay.
I think you'll just go through because you're better than your teams, even though you don't think you want to.
Dortmund. I'm not even going to read that group. Dortmund are going to top it. Napoli, Club Brugge, Liga A, and Midtjylland. I've never seen these guys.
Midtjylland and Napoli.
And Napoli, yeah. Okay, let's see. Villarreal will top theirs. Yeah, there's actually no real competitive groups here.
It's awful.
It's a really bad one.
Well,
we'll look at Spurs group though. They might have a hard time. Anderlecht and Monaco in there.
Well, Monaco have sold like half their team. They've got like about 140 million in transfers this summer.
They needed it because of your man's divorce, correct?
Oh, by the way, Berbatov was linked with a last minute move to, I want to say like someone crap in the league, like someone like
Stoke.
No, like a West Brom or a Norwich or someone.
Really?
Yeah, legit. Like,
here, go over the international things while I find this.
Well, Ireland are playing Gibraltar this Friday.
Are these qualifiers, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we should beat them by 5 goals. If we don't, we're awful. That's Friday, and then we've a slightly harder match, but we should beat them as well. Georgia at home. You know, whatever. It won't make a difference. We need 6 points, but it won't make a difference where we finish. I know it's Scotland, Poland, and Germany. 2 of the 3 are playing each other this week, so one of them will drop points. But we still have to go to Poland and win, which isn't happening. So
okay, so 6 points needed by Ireland. Fairly safe to say.
And our goal difference is worse than yours.
Okay, let me ask you this. I don't know if you got to do your homework on it, but is there any whether it's just an enticing game or whether it's an enticing game in terms of what it means points wise? Is there any other good international fixtures over the break?
No, I didn't look.
Grand.
I don't care.
I'll have a look during. Okay, what day is the Gibraltar game?
Friday.
And
then Monday.
Monday. Great. Okay, here we go. Champions League. Okay, Group A. PSG, Madrid, Shakhtar Donetsk, Malmo. Oh, so Malmo have
Malmo are in 3 things. They're still in Group A.
Good man, Malmo.
Yeah, Madrid and PSG.
I always like Madrid and PSG games. PSV, United, CSK Moscow, Wolfsburg. That's
fucking
a hell of a
ridiculous group.
Hell of a group.
With Wolfsburg getting in,
yeah, I agree.
Your man,
Dante.
I don't know. I think they could do it with Man United.
Wolfsburg and Man United?
Yeah.
Okay.
Our PSV aren't up so much. They're the easiest top team.
PSV is just a name from our childhood. Benfica, Atletico, Galatasaray, and Astanza.
Atletico and Benfica. Who else would you pick?
Oh, Galatasaray always kind of get to the first knockouts.
Benfica really good at home.
Juve, Man City, Sevilla, and Mönchengladbach.
Borussia Mönchengladbach, actually.
Yeah, that's what I said. Hell of a group.
So you've got Juve.
City, Sevilla. It's hard. That's hard. I'm going to go Juve and City.
Yeah, but I don't think Seville will be off.
Group E. Well, what do you think?
I'd probably go along with that.
Okay, try and do these in order. In terms
I'd go along Juve City, but that's because City are just always shit in Europe.
Okay, but you wouldn't be surprised if it was City Juve.
No.
Barcelona, Leverkusen, Roma, and Bate.
Barcelona.
Yeah, easy. In that order. Bayern, Arsenal, Olympiacos, Dynamo Zagreb. Bayern, Arsenal.
Yeah.
Okay. There has to be a surprise here.
At least they won't lose in the second round to Bayern.
For once. There has to be a surprise here. Like, you could see Sevilla or Olympiacos or even Leverkusen.
Olympiacos beating Arsenal.
Olympiacos, I suppose. Okay, Chelsea, Porto, Dynamo Kiev, and Tel Aviv.
They're bad away trips, but it's a very easy group. So it'll be...
In theory.
Mourinho going back to Porto if he's still in charge.
It'll be interesting, kind of.
Chelsea, Porto.
Over 10 years have gone. Would really be interesting. Yeah.
He likes Porto.
Zenit, Valencia, Lyon, and Ghent.
Valencia and Zenit.
Okay, excellent. Our teaser from last week.
Oh yeah, how many penalties has Messi missed?
7.
14.
Fucking hell.
And I forgot to write a teaser this week, so I'm all over the place.
That's okay.
It's not like I've had 2 weeks off written.
It was, yeah, exactly. It was a busy show. As I said, many scripts. Awards, your hero of the week.
The Celtic fans were pretty cool this week.
That was very funny, alright.
Yeah, the Fenerbahce fans, whoever it was, like, were dressing up in balaclavas with knives and this and that. The Celtic fans replied with, like, literally, like, a fork you get if you get a curry cheese chips out of the chipper, like, you know.
I saw a gentleman with a lightsaber instead.
The lightsaber, yeah, it was good stuff.
It's great because one would think there would be a point in time where if one team was to do something like that, the other team would just retort with the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you'd think that there'd be an element of trouble. But the Celtic fans just turned it on its head.
Generally, Celtic fans are actually okay, to be honest. There's generally not much bad behaviour. So
yeah. So I did think it was very, very, very funny. Your spoofer of the week.
I think I'm agreeing with John on most of these. Lovren, I just don't know what he was doing. The whole De Gea situation, whoever's in charge of that, and Arsene Wenger for his ridiculous transfer policy. Like I just like literally every Arsenal fan I see on Twitter is just going like, season's already over.
Yeah,
it's like they've got like over 100 million sitting there. Like they must.
Oh yeah,
because like their net spend, like they haven't sold anyone though, have they? Podolski. Like they're probably like a couple of million down.
Chesney's wages paid.
Half Chesney's gone. Podolski's gone. Who was their biggest earner?
I'm just going to say United are my spoofer of the week, and people might think I'm crazy, but to bring him in and let Chicharito go and not go in for Royce, I think I could be wrong.
My other hero of the week is Van Gaal for the face he had coming out of the match.
Yeah, everyone has seen it by now.
It's honestly the grumpiest face I have ever seen in my life.
It was wonderful. Your goal of the week,
Chris Wood for Leeds.
I heard it was very good. I did see it actually.
It was very good.
Is there any other awards to do?
No, not really.
Okay, excellent. Getting on to the Fantasy League before we leave you. It's worth saying as well that obviously United won, was it 4-0? 4-0 away to Club Brugge.
Well, they're Mickey Mouse.
And everyone was saying Rooney's back. Well,
yeah, well done.
Okay, so not that I have anything against Man United, right? But okay, so
the RT pundits that night, did you hear them?
Eamon Duffy calling him a bullshitter.
Call him a bullshitter, and Darwin says you can't say that. I just did.
Yeah, Darren Maloney was trying to relay it in a lie. He's like, no, Eamon, seriously, I'm not having that. Well, you did, Darren Maloney, you did have it. You didn't do anything.
What do you want to do? Cut his mic off.
Well, yeah, put the word in. Darren Maloney has to stamp his authority.
Well,
now
Bill said it laugh when he said fuck.
That's because Bill knew how to deal with him.
Bill just laughed, and now Eamon, have your apology.
Don't make threats if you can't follow through, right, Maloney?
Yeah, but like Giles and all that were saying, like how Carrick is an average player, Schweinsteiger is their best midfielder. It's like, yeah, Schweinsteiger is, maybe if he's 100% fit and he can run, he can at the moment, and Carrick has been pretty good.
Yeah, I think
it's just like, and they said, oh, we always have faith in Rooney. It's like,
it's outrageous.
It's like, yeah, well,
look, I'm sure when the history books are written for Manchester United, we'll say one thing about how good Carrick was and one thing about how good Schweinsteiger was. All right, here we go. Fantasy League. I'm at the bottom there, 28 points. So I'm going to do my wild card this week. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to record myself doing the wild card and my theory behind it. I'm not going to make it too long. I'm going to be about 2 minutes or so. I'm going to port it into the start of next week's episode.
Very good.
So we'll see what happens then. I presume there won't be an episode next week. So the start of the episode.
We'll do 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We can recap the internationals.
Yeah. So by the time we do the episode in 2 weeks, the show will start off with me doing my wild card. And then the end of the show will be the results of my wild card. Okay? So that's how I'll do it.
Are you not actually going through the whole table here, are you?
Very quickly. Okay, Rob Normal, 21st. Reg Harrison on 20th. These are all people who have gone down. Seamus staying plain on 19th. John Carroll down 18th. Fantastic. Regis Kerr down to 17th. Kenny Murphy on the way up to 16th. Dan O'Carroll down the table.
This is terrible.
Close to relegation.
I'm still ahead of everyone in the ITK, so it's fine.
You're not too far fucking ahead of me. That's kind of incredible. Like, I could catch you if I get this wild card. Have you played your wild card?
No.
Fair enough. Are you going to?
I have to.
Dan, talking to the mic. You're literally lying down at this stage.
Sorry.
Don't be the same as your fantasy team.
Yeah.
Dave Nolte on 14th has gone down. Staying on 13th is Shane Lahart. Oh, he's new.
Yeah, we got him in the other day.
Fair play. Speaking of which, you literally have 1 week left to join. We're going to put up a reminder every day, but if for some reason the sound of my voice is reaching you right now, Dara Hogan, and you haven't put in your fantasy football team into our league, please do. Okay, so Tommy Normal going down to 12th.
He's ahead of us with his name football team.
I know.
This is bad. No wonder no one listens to this show.
Look, Tommy, come on, don't bury the product. Tommy clearly has a mind for the game. Stephen Vincent at 11 with big hard dicks. James Byrne down in 10th. With all these people moving down the league, who the fuck has moved up?
There's like 5 people that moved up, I think.
Okay.
Top.
Oh my God, Brian Donahue with 9 people has gone from top spot to 9th.
It's a crazy league.
Okay, much like the real league. It's nice that it's reflected. Ron O'Reilly on 8th. In 8th place. Michael Tobin joint 6th with David Rogers. Dave Brady in 5th. Gary Kiernan in 4th. Sean Ryan absolutely rocketing up the league.
I saw that.
To 3rd place.
Look who's second and look at top 2.
Noel's back! I don't believe it. Okay.
I don't believe it. I can't believe it.
Oh God almighty. So
Sunderland
is off the top and Noel is clear by 3rd place. And Sean's 9 points behind Noel. It's an amazing league.
What's Noel doing back up there?
God, I know he's really into it. I know, like I don't want to say he obsesses over it, but
I either do mine in the pub or I would do it with a hangover on Saturday morning.
Right. Well, I think that goes for most people.
Yeah, you'd think that.
But Noel would
study it for like 10 matches straight.
No, I don't know. It wouldn't be that intensive. But for instance, I have a Liverpool group, and myself and Ken and Rog and Noel, so all 4 of us are in this league here. We talk. Rog, as in Dave Rogers, okay? So we'd all talk about what's going on. We talk about transfers. We talk about matches coming up, yeah. And like 50% of Noel's contribution will be the repercussions or potential repercussions on fantasy.
Oh, for God's sake.
So he's one of those. But look, listen, it pays off. He's first.
He barely had Jeffrey Sacco over front.
We'll check. Can I check his team? Let me check his team here.
Just press his name.
Okay. Let's see who Noel has here. Can maybe take a page out of his book. Let's see, Mignolet in goal, Kolarov, Klein and Gomez. Interesting.
And he went up with those 3.
Yeah. Sanchez, Silva, Ayew, clever, Aguero, Pele, Wilson. There's where it comes in.
Pele got like a couple of goals and assists or something.
He got a goal and an assist. Yeah. Wilson got him 7 points. Anyway.
I've got the lion up front, Gomez.
Do you?
It's a great celebration.
Oh, it's a wonderful celebration.
It's the best thing.
Still not good as AU putting his fingers down his throat in the Chelsea game. That's 4 shows in a row. I've got to mention that. Okay. Yeah. Any other words, Sam, before we leave?
No. Bye, John. Come back.
Okay, guys. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time unless we decide to have a few drinks next weekend and do some sort of supplemental video game show. But if not, enjoy the international break. Enjoy the football when it returns 2 weekends from now. And we'll be back probably on the, let me have a look, 15th of August with more ITK Soccer Show.